A valiant playoff run comes to an end for the Edmonton Oilers, and look, it was a good playoff run that Oilers fans should be proud of. They should hold their head up high, and for me being a Flames fan, you know what, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. You guys beating us in that 5-game series and the amazing 7-game series against the Kings is something that you guys can cherish. It was a good, long, hearty playoff run, and you did what everyone said you couldn't do with McDavid and Draisaitl, which was go far. Okay, and I know that those two guys have never really been a problem in the playoffs, but it's been the cast around them. And, if they don't go on a long run, then those two guys are going to get upset. Well, you know what? They went on a long run. It was fruitful. It was fun. And, it was just a good run. So congrats to Oilers fans, and it was a good season that you guys should cherish and be happy about, okay? But there are a few names that I want to talk about for next year because this team could look very different next season. And I don't know, it could get pretty dicey in terms of who's there and who's not in Edmonton. And there are some players that I want to talk about that there are a good chance they're going to be gone next year. And I want to talk about what that's going to be like for the team. We'll go by them one by one. The first one, the goaltender, Mike Smith. And you know what? Let's throw both goaltenders in this mix because Koskinen, there's rumors that he's going to Europe to play next year. He already had 1 foot out the door to go out and play in Europe next year. So Koskinen, most likely, he's gone. Smith, okay, he is old. I think he's 40 years old. I don't know. That's going to be tough for Mike Smith to come back and play another season in the National Hockey League here. And I know that the guy has another year left on his contract at $2.2 million, but as a backup, that's decent, okay? If you can find a guy who can be better, looking at somebody like Fleury, there's options out there for the Oilers to go pursue, but I really, really do think that Ken Holland is going to try and go out and either get rid of Smith or make Mike Smith the backup and try to get a real number one goaltender, which Edmonton has been looking for a long time now. So Mike Smith, there's a good chance he gets moved. Koskinen, I would say already 1 foot out the door, most likely not coming back. Okay, I would bet money that Mikko Koskinen is not an Edmonton Oiler next year. Up next, this is the juiciest one. I would say Evander Kane. We know what's going on. If you don't, there's a grievance issue that I'm not going to get into here. I might make a separate video about, but he might go back to the Sharks. Okay, there might be a whole big situation here with him going back to the Sharks. There's a ton of money involved. We'll see what happens there, but even if he doesn't, this guy's a free agent. Okay, he only signed a 1-year deal with Edmonton for pennies on the dollar, and look, this guy, we know how he is with his money. He's always posting pictures with stacks of cash. So there's a good chance he hits the open market and a team like New Jersey or something, the Islanders or somebody like that, says, hey, Evander Kane, 30 goals a year, we'll give you $7 million. Okay, and look, it might be shorter term because this guy's such a wild card. It might be $7 million over 2-3 years, but still, that's big, big money that I don't know if Edmonton's going to be able to match. So just as a starting point, it's going to be really, really tough for the Oilers to keep Evander Kane in the first place. Like, you can sell him with the fact that there's Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, two of the best players in the world, but have you really known Evander Kane to be the type of guy to take a hometown discount or a pay cut, to stay with certain guys or be in a situation? I haven't, especially with his financial situation right now. The dude's bankrupt. Okay, he needs as much money as he can get, so I don't know. I think there's a solid chance that he is not wearing the Oilers logo on the front of his jersey next season. And lastly, this is a very interesting one for me. It's the Bison King, a fan favorite in Edmonton, Jesse Puljujarvi. We are going to see what happens with him. I think he's gone. I really do. And he had some moments in the season where he played decently and he scored some goals, but overall, this is the type of guy that I don't think Edmonton is going to want to hold on to. And we know he requested a trade years back. He went to Europe to go play, came back. I don't see this guy in the future for the Oilers, especially if they can sell mediocrely on him and they can get a decent return for him. They are going to probably try to upgrade him because I know that the Oilers were not happy with his performance in the playoffs. So that's a change that I know Oilers fans are going to be sad about, but it might be necessary and it's most likely coming. And if you think about it, those are three big pieces. Like if Smith, Kane, and Puljujarvi aren't back, and there are other guys that I haven't mentioned, like I've heard Tyson Barrie's name popped around because Evan Bouchard can do a lot of similar things offensively and is a similar type of player to Barrie and is much cheaper. I've heard Barrie's name kicked around, which would be a huge move. Okay, I've heard a lot of other names like Zach Kassian that the Oilers might try to move. So there's going to be a lot of moves here, and for a team that just went to the third round, I think it's going to be a big offseason, and there might be a lot of new players on the Oilers roster next year. So I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. As usual, what do you think of this Oilers team? Who's staying? Who's going? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.